Hello, and welcome back to Pints with Pals. My name's Mike, your host, and with me is Jeremy and Jason. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Tonight, we are doing a Trappist Quadrupel from Trappe.
I say it.
I don't think I've had... I'm sure I've had a quadruple, but I don't know that I've had this one.
I don't know that I know I haven't this one. I don't know that I've ever had a quad.
It's got a bubble. It's weird.
Well, I had that
So these are...
Orwell.
Was that a quadruple?
No, I don't think so.
That was a... I don't know. I haven't had it. I was not. Those are still. It's part of the. Yeah, that was one of the ones I still need to go back to.
It's a little cloudier than I was expecting it to be.
It could be the yeast.
Ooh, it definitely smells of bananas.
Good. Yep. Get bananas, get a lot of maltiness.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's really, really cold though. I want to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Belgian beers. Those are probably my favorites.
Ooh. Tasty.
Yeah, it's a little weedier than I was expecting. This one comes in at 10% ABV, which is a little higher end. The general from like craftbeer.com consensus is it's going to be like the lower pale to dark, so it's about like an amber-ish color, and I would say that they nailed that. That's pretty spot on. It's hard to say with these stupid red lights behind me, but the bitterness is going to be anywhere from like, I don't know, 25 to 50 IBUs. I don't know that this one says specifically what it is.
I don't think so. There's not really a whole lot on the bottle.
No. Just a government warning, basically. So then the alcohol for a quadruple tends to be around like 7.5 to like 11.2. I don't know why they got so specific in that, but so this is kind of on the higher end of Belgian style quadruples.
Right.
Alcohol, I guess.
That's good. I like that. I like the maltiness, the sweet notes that it has.
Yeah.
Maybe some caramel. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm definitely tasting a lot of like banana flavor in mine.
Right.
And I'm not a huge fan of banana, so it's kind of a smidge off-putting, but not enough to make me stop drinking it.
Like, I don't know. I don't taste banana. So what is like an overly ripe banana? Maybe like what are you tasting?
It's like a banana on the nose.
Yeah. I don't really taste. I guess I don't taste banana so much as I definitely smell it, and then the smell kind of bleeds into my taste, because I'm like, it's basically like trying to taste like a LaCroix or something, where you're like I gotta breathe out to smell my mouth to see if there was a flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even the bottle there's a little bit of yeast that's still in there. I smell banana.
So, quick to start rating. What'd you just do?
Who?
I just got the little chill from it.
Oh, Jason. So I'm gonna give it a medium thumb to start with. I gonna wait and see what my total verdict is. Jeremy's got a thumbs up.
Yeah, I do a thumbs up.
What was
Right now? I'll be the odd man out. I'm not leaning down, but I'm not leaning. I'm like 3/4 down. It's
okay.
If we're allowed to do half a thumb or whatever, but
well, that's what mine was, a middle thumb. So I'm not sold on it. I probably wouldn't get it again. right off the bat, but I might, if I were ever in a place that had them, I might try them.
Oh, I've had this quite a few times.
And on that note, I guess it's been a minute since we last recorded. Yeah, you guys aren't going to see any really, other than like we aged by roughly 3 weeks between last episode and this episode. But other than that, I feel like there hasn't been quite so much of the back and forth. So how was your weekend, Jeremy? Or weeks? And
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I got sick, had 24-hour flu. That was fun. I spent 13 hours in bed, shaking, shivering, fever. So that was a fun time. That was last Friday. And then we ended up going to Asheville the following day to go spend some time with my oldest son for his birthday. He said he wanted to get a drink somewhere. I was like, oh, I know a place. I've never been. It's called a Thirsty Monk. And so with the Thirsty Monk it's 3 levels. The basement is your beer level, basically. The second level is beer and spirits. Excuse me. And your upper level is more your high-end cocktails. Well, it's whatever you feel like being in. Like the basement is more of a dungeon style, and then the first floor is more open air, blah blah. And the third one's a little more high fluted, I guess. But the cool thing is they have a plethora of Belgian and Trappist beers on tap, and which just blew my mind.
Oh, that's cool.
The amount that they had, and I was still feeling kind of off. I was like, I couldn't drink nothing; it was just torture. So watching Brandon and his girlfriend Shadiah drink these beers, it's like, oh, this is torture. This is hell. This is what hell feels like. So Shadiah had
have
one.
Gone there.
Yeah, that's fine though. I forgot. I can't pronounce it. It's like some German first word, but it's like strawberry beer. So it smelled like the topping that they drizzle over like New York cheesecake. It had that same kind of smell, that strawberry drizzle. And I had Brandon get in Orville, and he didn't care for it. He tried. He tried to like it, but it just wasn't. He likes stouts and porters. That's usually he likes darker beers. So, but at least he tried it. So, cool. Other than that, like, oh gosh, what else have I been up to? Went to pretty much, I'm gonna call it a bottle share party, I guess the best way to describe it. That was kind of fun. A bunch of my homebrew buddies all met up at someone's house, and we all brought different beers to try. There's a lot of barley wines, which are pretty potent, like 13% beers. And then the host had a what did he have? He had this barrel-aged stout on tap, and that was potent. It was very, very smoky. It was more than I would care for, but it got better as it warmed up. But when it was cold, right off the tap, the smoke was so pungent that I just couldn't get past it. But once it kind of warmed up a little bit, it got pretty tasty after a while.
Yeah, liquid smoke I think has that because I've
had barrel.
Charred barrel.
So they went up to Virginia and got the barrel.
Wow.
And it sat for like a year and a half in it. Yeah. But liquid smoke can be very potent, pungent. Like I've made jerky in the past, and one extra drop and it's like ruined basically.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm definitely very susceptible to those smells and flavors and stuff. Yeah. So I very much can taste like the liquid smoke versus like a real smoke. It tastes like you're just like licking the campfire ashes.
Right. Other than that, just living life. Fucking hogging up too much time, I guess.
No. Jason, what about you?
So last week, Friday was my girlfriend's friend's Halloween party, of course. So we went to that. We dressed up as you won't know what they are. Jeremy might, but they're spotted lanternflies. Mm-hmm. They look really cool, like really pretty, but they're super invasive, like terrible for the environment. We ended up winning the costume contest, which got us a bottle of Elijah Craig. So I have that to sip on. But
also for Mag Dog 2020.
Right? No. What else have I been up to? We went back to that Low Lev brewery in Pittsburgh. Very weird place. Like it's off the beaten path, so maybe that's why it's never busy. But we go in there on Saturday night and it's dead. It's very weird to me.
Is that
But
the one
I
where you
really
have to like find the water and stuff?
no. I mean it's no. That was Voodoo Brewing.
Oh, okay.
Which is it's in a cool Voodoo Brewing's in a cool spot, but Low Lev also. I mean it's in a cool neck of town, but you have to walk a couple of blocks. I like their vibe. There's just no one ever there. I love their cream ale. I ordered that when I was there, but that's pretty much been it. Haven't been doing much. How about you, Mike?
I've been doing less than much. The funny thing is, the episode that just aired this week, actually I talk about hurting my back, and that's been like 4 weeks since I had done it. So it got real bad, like to the point where like I literally just laid on a floor face down on my stomach in like the shape of a 4. So like one of my legs went out and made the 4 like an upside down, or an H, I guess.
H was better.
Yeah. And I just couldn't move. It's not so much like a pain in the back, but it's like my sciatic nerve. So like down my like left hip and all the way down to my toe. It's better. But it's not healing quite as fast as any other back injury that I've had, where I would be usually up and going in about like 3 or 4 days to a week. This has been like 4 weeks. So I'm like,
I can tell you why.
Yeah, because I can't stop
43.
doing stuff. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
all
I
age,
crossed
man.
that threshold of you can't do anything anymore. No, this weekend is the FOBAB, the Festival of Barrel Aged Beer. This is the first time I haven't gone to it since COVID, but before that, like 2019, was the first time I went, then COVID, then 2021, 2022. So I'm kind of sad that I'm missing it, but I'm glad that I didn't try and tough it out, because I don't think I would have been able to sit in a car for 2 hours, 3 hours.
You'd probably be in the hospital.
Right. So plus I've been basically trying not to like drink anything, just because I'm like, I don't really want to like drink and then like get drunk and do something stupid and then just like throw out my back again. Although completely sober, I'm doing stupid stuff like that and throwing out my back. Yeah. Like, oh, I'll just go downstairs and install all of my Ethernet for 6 hours one day. That can't hurt my back. It's not like a
good thing the quadruple you're drinking right now is 10%.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not planning on drinking much more than this, but yeah, I'm not planning on also like going to do something.
Right.
But other than that, we've been playing like pool. I can stand for the most part, so we've been playing pool in our basement. We got our pool table and everything all set up, so that's been fun. It's been
need to do a podcast from your new bar downstairs once it's all set up. And
yeah, that's kind of why I got that. Like, I got another microphone so I don't have to like disassemble all this stuff and can go down there and screw around. But yep, yeah, it's been a long 3 weeks of doing literally nothing.
Right.
It sucks.
Yep. I feel
and on that note,
well, I guess we should get back to the beer.
Yeah. It's definitely still sweeter. I feel like it's losing the banana smell and just kind of transition to like maybe a sweet malty smell.
It's very
overall,
sweet.
Yes, overall, the triple should be caramel, dark sugar, malty sweetness. It should be like the biggest things. It should have some
quadruple.
What did I say?
Triple.
Oh, sorry, triple. Quadruple. The quadruple.
Maybe you did. Oh yeah. I'm like, maybe you did say it. You just said it so fast. I heard triple.
Fix it in post. I don't know.
I'm not gonna fix it in post.
Yeah, I know.
This is one and done. That's the best you get. I don't get paid for this, so. I guess we could talk about the history of the Trappe, like the longest been around and stuff like that. I'm not sure everyone's had it.
I've never had it. I want to, because it's a original, it's an OG beer, right? It's made by monks, right? So
yeah.
I cannot even, I'm sure I've had them. Are lambics made by monks? Any of them? I'm sure. No?
I don't think so. I think it just made it in a certain region.
Then yeah, I've never have had
I don't
a
think so.
made by monks beer.
See, because Orville is another one that's made by monks, stuff like that. So yeah, so
Mr.
it's been around
Redenbacher.
since like 1664, something like that. So it's been around for just for a little while. So I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, the United States doesn't recognize numbers that low.
Right.
So like, what do you mean?
The United States doesn't go that far back.
No.
But yeah, so they've been around for a while. It's like what Jason was saying earlier, like monks make it for the most part. There's other brands out there like Chimay, Chimay is another one that's pretty popular. Mount Saint Bernard, that's a really good one too. Has a monk on it. That's another one that I've had.
Wait, is Chimay made by monks? Because I've had Chimay. My dad.
And I'm pretty
My
sure
dad-
that's maybe as Trappist, yeah.
When I first, maybe not Chimay. Hold on, I gotta Google it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. There's one that we talked about in the last season. I'll bring up in this season. It's called Spencer Brewery. It was the only United States-based monastery brewery, but they shut down. So, like, if you can get your hands on it, I heard it's okay. I guess like that. Like, I guess their
You're a
last
great
batch was like,
salesman.
whatever. That's what I've heard from like a few different people. Like, it's still sought after. People still want it. They'll pay a pretty penny for it, at least triple what the actual cost was. And then there's like the different types of Travis style beers. Does Mike remember the 4 different types? No. So you have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple.
Right. Well, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right, but yeah, okay, never mind. So like so in our notes we have like this brand, the Trappe or whatever it is. They have a blonde, a double, something I can't pronounce. It's ISID apostrophe OR, a triple, a quadruple oak aged, a wit or a white, and then a Bock beer. I really want to try this one with the oak aged variant of this one. That would be super. But I would actually be willing to, like, so if I went to a place and they had all of these, I would definitely try and get a flight or 2 of them, just because out of curiosity, I just kind of want to taste them all and like go from their blonde, which is I'm assuming they're single, their double, their triple, and their quad, and then maybe get the other ones in a separate flight.
Getting a flight might be difficult since a lot of, I'd say at least 90 or 95% of us are bottled only.
Oh.
Well,
then we just have to go together, and then we can split the bottle in thirds.
Oh no! Don't twist my arm.
Let's go.
I kind of know a place now. You have to come down here.
How far is that from your house?
Like an hour.
It's not bad.
No, heck, we can just stay there. Just get a hotel room downtown Asheville and just stumble home.
Sign me up. Ever since you've been talking about Asheville, I want to go. So.
Yeah, I think it's got to be springtime. We'll probably have to go. It's a little nicer out again. But yeah, so they've been around quite a while. They're made by monks. They got the four different styles. I know some people get confused when I was asked this before, like a double is what, just double the strength of a single? Like, no, it's just, I'm not even sure why it's called a double. It's not double anything really in the sense of it, but it's more fruity. If anything, it has more alcohol, but it's only by 1% or so, so it's not a whole lot more. A triple is a lot more clear for the most part. It almost looks like kind of like a Cloche in a way. The ones I had, and those are definitely kind of have like if you guys ever had like a Czech lager, and it has like a little spicy peppery note to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think a triple kind of has that a little bit, but granted that's like 7 to 10% ABV. It just depends on how they make it. And a quad and a double to me kind of look the same. I think a double's darker. They got more red hue in it than a quad does. And again, just a quad just has a little more alcohol, but they're all fairly close. I mean, they're only like, for me, style, they're only like 8% difference for the most part from the high end, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out
good,
what we had. I guess we had Orville. The Orville is very similar to that, and the Saison DuPont. I feel like kind of fall into the. It's not the same, but it falls into a similar category for me because it's like
Saison beer. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a Belgian.
It's a Belgian beer. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of my favorite ones to have. I like that. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'd like to do that again. I think I would like to do the Saison and the Orville. Orville Day is 4/4. That's when it aired.
It's in March, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do it again for sure.
I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
Probably buy a couple of them.
So
I pre-game a little bit.
Yes.
Apparently, you can still buy Spencer beer. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm getting distracted here.
Squirrel.
Yeah, and we can, if you want to buy some, they're not overly expensive, but as Jeremy said, if they're just okay, maybe it's not something we want to explore. But I don't know.
What I've heard, I've never had one. I just be kind of curious.
Yeah.
What it tastes like. I mean, it'd be a fun bottle share episode or something like that.
So yeah, we could do it in my basement.
Hint, hint.
So like champagne, right? Like, so real champagne can only be brewed in Champagne, France. I assume.
What they say.
Italy? Where is it? I don't know. There's a Champagne.
France. It's a region of France. Yeah.
Yes. So is these like Belgian beers or the Trappist monks beers? Do people brew those styles, or like are there other Belgian, like, because New Belgium has basically a bunch of Belgian beers, but obviously they're not Trappist monks. But if they would ever come out with a double or quad, would they? Is it just because they're doing it in some sort of style and they're just kind of barely?
It's sorry, Jeremy, you can talk if you probably know more.
Go for it.
Well, wasn't it? So one of the episodes we had done before, we had looked into it or we talked about it. It's they have to. It's a religious thing. They're trying to not necessarily make money. They're trying to produce like the best quality beer, and so yeah, I don't think any brewery could do it and call it a, Trappist.
It would be a Trappist now.
Yeah, it would just be that style of beer.
Belgian quad.
There's a whole process, I guess, but it's not region based. It's the process and what actually your brewery is and what you're doing. So there's more.
I just know they're getting less and less of them out there.
Right.
Because they do eventually they just run out of money for the most part.
Which probably what happened to.
Right. But the style, like at the triple, I mean, yeah, anybody can make that style. But they wouldn't call it a Trappist triple, because like you said, New Belgium makes a triple, which is a really good triple that's commercially made. That's cheap too. You can get like a 6-pack for like $10 for the most part. But they would never call it Trappist because it's not made by monks. It's made by normal people. I don't know what to call them.
Brewers.
Yeah.
The brewers.
Yeah, not monks, brewers.
Yep.
So, to tie back to your trip into town, I found it interesting that we were talking between the episodes about how the average person isn't staying out as much drinking, and it's like the bars and breweries and everything are starting to close because nobody is like, it was a not small amount of people like stopping to do it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there were basically people aren't, and it could be due to like Uber Eats and Grubhub and things like that delivering food from restaurants. People are just not going out, but on average people are spending less money on drinks at bars.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was down during COVID. It rebounded last year quite a bit, but it's still like 20% lower than it was pre-COVID. Alcohol consumption at restaurants. That's not to say, I don't remember if it mentioned, are people just drinking at home more? um, but one of the things they called out is the younger generation is actually they're going out, but they're not drinking alcoholic beverages. They're drinking uh what is it? Doesn't Bud?
Mocktails.
Yeah, well, mocktails, or there's like the no
The
no
NA
ABV.
beers.
Yeah, the NA beers. Yeah, but I figure I'm trying to think of one I've actually seen.
Athletic.
Yeah, but and that was the one thing when I came back from Serbia. Every bar has non-alcoholic beer. Like you can, if you just want to drink a beer that that you like the taste, the flavor, whatever, the bubbles, you can get one. But here, it's rare you see a place that has a non-alcoholic beer. I mean, they had it on draft. I mean, let alone a can or a bottle of non-alcoholic beer. So anyway, the younger generation is not drinking as much alcoholic beverages. It sounds like, which I think is good.
What I've heard too.
Yeah.
But I've noticed
not
like a
drinking
lot of the
as
craft
much.
breweries around here have a lot of the NA beers on hand.
Okay.
And a lot of variety of them. Now, some of the not homebreweries, but some of the craft breweries around here, they're not making their own quite yet. I think they're trying to see how that market plays in my area. I've had a couple. Some are very disappointing. Like I'd rather just drink water. Some are actually shockingly really, really good. Like I was surprised there was alcohol in them. One day I would like to try one of my own. Just make a small batch and see how well I can make one. I think it'd be fun. Sorry, Mike, you cut you off.
I had the hop water when I went to a festival in the end of the summer or whatever, and that was disgusting. But it was was like everything IPA that I don't like in water.
Hop water, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
but that's a little bit different, right? That's you're not.
Yeah, because that's like a very specific. Like it doesn't taste like beer at all. It tastes like tastes
hops.
like sparkling hops. So like you have to really like the taste
leaves.
of. Yeah. It's like you were chewing tea.
What was one of the original non-alcoholic beers?
O'Doul's.
I think it was O'Doul's. I mean, it was like a tiny. There's obviously like a tiny.
Well, it has to be 0.5% or less to be considered non-alcoholic.
I mean, you'd have to drink like all day, literally, right, to get anything. I remember back in the day, when I was literally a child, like my dad would drink his beers or whatever, and I'd be like, "Oh, I want one." He's like, "No," and I'm like, and then eventually, I don't know how, but I found out about non-alcoholic beer, so they bought me some, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is gross."
20 years later,
right? Yeah.
I'm gonna have a podcast. So I just think it's a weird concept of people like wanting to basically not drink out, which is good for like the drinking and driving. Those rates are going to go way down, and then maybe people are just not spending as much time in bars and stuff and just drinking till like 2 a.m. and then driving home drunk. So I think that's a good thing.
Expensive.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like I feel like in the last, and this is just me being old, hence the bad back and now but I feel like inflation has it seems like we've seen like with the supply chain kind of dying and then everything else going, it's like I feel like inflation is like tripled in the last like 2 years. But I don't know. I feel like that's a topic for another podcast.
It's definitely doubled. I know that for sure. Right. There was a guy, then since you brought up on, we want to keep talking about it. He had pictures when he went to Costco a year ago. So like a package of Oreos, like a big old package of Oreos was like $6 last year. And he went this year and they're like, almost $12 for the same package. He did that for everything, milk, like all sorts of stuff, how much everything has gone up.
Crazy.
Some weren't quite double, but some were like 50-60% more than what it was last year. But I think it's kind of funny that some people or some companies are deciding to like sell it for the same price, but reduce the amount that you get. So instead of 20 cookies, now you get 14 for the same price, and I was like, what?
That's how I felt like that's what I
Crazy.
wanted in like restaurants and stuff. Like I want, instead of giving me an American sized portion of stuff, can you give me like an actual portion, like maybe 1,000 calories at most portion of it? You don't have to charge me like that much less. So give me like half as much food, but charge me about 75% of the cost. Like I would rather get a smaller portion if I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I don't know. That's just me. Get off my lawn! Damn you.
So I mean, Jeremy, you're obviously not a monk, but if you were to make a quadruple,
Yeah, if I were to make it cool.
how would you go about it?
So I do a 50-50 split on my malt build. So it would be half pale malt and half pilsner malt. And then from there, like, just go through the whole process of, steeping and blah, blah, blah. And then at flame out, I would add in 2 pounds of amber candy sugar. From what I read, it doesn't really matter what kind of sugar. I could use table sugar if I want to, but a lot of people seem to like go towards this amber. I think because it just adds more color to the overall beer. And then it would just be again just German noble hops. So I use Hallertau hops and then East Kent Golding hops, which actually would be quite a bit overall. It's like 3.5 ounces altogether for like a 5-gallon batch, but again, there's a lot of sugars that's going to be in it.
Right.
And besides that, for the water, I would want it to have body. Like I feel like this has a lot of body to it, so I would probably use like 3 grams of calcium chloride, 3 grams of gypsum, and then like 2 grams of Epsom salt to just give the water more and more body, more thickness, or however you want to say it.
I think you should get this water from
simple.
that thing coming down the mountain. That stream that comes down the mountain where everybody's getting
couple
water.
hour drive away. Yeah, that's we'd like to do with a group of people. Make it worth my while. Yeah, it would be kind of fun though. Yeah, but I think it'd be a simple process. I think it's just time, because with all the sugars, I will bet this thing would probably sit for month and a half fermenting. I think it'd be like just a long process waiting for it to be done.
So
that's next year's beer.
Yeah. Have you guys opinions changed at all? I'm pretty sure Jeremy says not, but Jason, have you gotten to a halfway point or a?
I mean, I don't think that I would. I would always try a beer. I'll always try it, but I would not have it again.
So it's a solid thumbs down.
It's not that it's. Well, yeah, it's just not for me. It's weird. Like the taste I'm getting is. It's almost like it's very very like sickeningly sweet.
Okay.
And I feel like it's like sipping. I mean, it's 10%. Like I'm sipping on a very high, percentage sweet something. So I don't know what that would even be. Like a sweet scotch or something. Like that's like what I'm getting. I'm like, this is weird. So.
Yeah, and it's been a minute since I've had a whole lot to drink, so I think that's impacting my taste also. But I do like this one. I think I would get it again. I definitely want to try the barrel aged or oak aged one. But yeah, cool. So
I would definitely give it
2 out of
give it to you guys. I'd get this again and again and again and again.
I would continue getting this one.
I'm really curious. So I was reading an article that Utopias is out now. Mike, you've had it before, haven't you? Sam Adams Utopias.
I don't think so.
$1,000 bottle or whatever it is.
Yeah, Tate's has a bottle of it. I thought I'm curious because that's a super high percent beer. It's not a beer. I'd be curious to try that and compare it to this because I feel like it's gonna give me the same reaction. This like are we sure this is beer? Like,
just a quick question before we wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Do you like pastry stouts?
I don't know that I've ever had one.
Okay.
Maybe I have.
I don't, but I feel like a lot of times they have a lot of fake flavors in them to give them the sweetness, so it doesn't get decomposed by the yeast. But All right. Well, we went a little bit over on this episode. We had a lot to talk about.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. I want to say thanks for joining, and don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Make sure you drink responsibly.
And like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Join our Discord.
Discord.
Cheers.
Cheers.